Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about optimizing AMS advertising campaigns. And here's the story. I've just launched a new book for my company. This is not a book that I wrote. It's a book that several other authors wrote, but my company, in 30 Minutes Guides, released it. And I've created an AMS headline ad to appear when people search for certain keywords. And this is what the advertisement looks like. I have a piece of stock photography that I licensed, and then here are the different editions of the book. So there's the Kindle version, the paperback version, and also the hardcover version. And Amazon is not the only place I sell this book. For instance, if you go to my website, you can get a copy as well. But a lot of sales do take place through Amazon. So I want people searching on Amazon to be able to find the book. And this ad was intended to help do that. Now, there is an issue. And I'll show you what the issue is. If you go to Amazon Marketing Services at ams.amazon.com and click on Campaign Manager, you will see a list of the recent campaigns that you have started. Or actually, you can see all of the campaigns that you've started. Let's get rid of this message. Amazon, by the way, is constantly prompting people to basically to buy more ads, and this is part of their campaign to do that, but we can ignore that. All right, I'm going to shrink the page a little bit so it's easier to see. All right, so this is the dashboard for all of my campaigns. And the way it works is, even though I have something like 250 campaigns I've created over the past 2 or 3 years or so, it's showing the most recent ones first. So in the past 2 or 3 weeks, I've created all of these advertisements. And it lists them by name. It lists whether or not they're running or paused or terminated or whatever. And then it lists some other important pieces of information: the start date, the budget, number of impressions, average cost per click, how much you've spent on the advertisement, and this is within a date range. So this is within the month to date, and then the estimated total sales, ACoS, which is average cost of sales, and I'll explain what that means in a minute, and then actions that you can take. Now, when I come to this dashboard, it really does look like a confusing mess, but my eye immediately zeroes in on a couple of these columns. The most important column is estimated total sales. This is how much of the product you have sold on Amazon at the price that Amazon charges. So for instance, at the very top here, there's this ad called Easy Genie HL. I think it's Connecting Generations. This title is based. I made up this title, and it's based on the tagline used in the advertisement. But if you go over to estimated total sales, it says 1998, and what that means is Amazon sold. I know that the price here reflects that Amazon sold one of these products for 1998, and it doesn't say how many items it is. It just says the total sales. But I know that because these products, they retail for $19.98, I know that this corresponds to one product. ACoS is the percentage of money you've spent on advertisement as a total amount of the sales. So if you see here, it says spend $2.80. That means to achieve this sale, this about $20, I had to spend $2.80 to get that. So it gives an ACoS of 14%. Now, if you go down, you'll see the next one. This is a paused campaign for another book we have called Acid Reflux and Heartburn in 30 Minutes. It gives the estimated total sales of $10, and I know that's the Kindle edition of the book. So it sold one copy of that Kindle edition, but the ACoS is over 100%. And what that means is I've spent more money to get this to create this amount of sales on Amazon than the actual sale is worth. So I spent $13.48 to get about a $10 sale on Amazon. Now, I want to say a couple of very important things about these figures here, estimated total sales and ACoS. This is not the amount of money that I will receive, my company will receive. This is the amount of money that Amazon collects, and then Amazon gives me a portion of that money based on either whatever formula they're using to calculate the royalty payout, or maybe it's a stated amount, or based on how much it costs them to ship it to somebody. There's all these different factors that come into play. But basically, even though the sale price is $10, my company is only receiving 60% of that amount. So basically, my company will receive $6. And actually, this number is wrong. This number reflects average cost of Amazon sales, but what I want to know is average cost of my sales. So I can do that in my head, because so if I'm getting $6 and it's costing me $13 to get that $6, that means I'm spending twice as much in advertising to get a sale of that book using this campaign, because other campaigns actually might be more successful than this. But what happened was, regardless, so this ACoS is a little bit is quite misleading. This number for the net that I receive should be more than 200%, but it just gives me a ballpark estimate of how the ad is performing relative to other ads, and in that sense, it's useful. And what I did is I paused that campaign because it just was not performing that well. Another way of looking at things is to look at the number of impressions and clicks, and then consider the number of clicks that actually turned into sales. So basically, they showed this advertisement 46,000 times. 59 people clicked on the ad, and each time someone clicks on the ad, I pay money through AMS. Average cost per click is 23 cents, and that's where this number at $13.48 comes from. But of those 59 clicks, only one turned into a sale. So the conversion rate for the advertisement is about 1.5% or so, which is not really that good. So this is an advertisement. I just paused it. You can basically click this button, and then you can either you can close it altogether, or I can re-enable it. But I paused it. So like if I wanted to pause this one, I'd click the button here. It says running, and I'd change it to pause. But I'm not going to do that right now. So let's actually talk about a campaign that I can work on that maybe can be saved, and it's this one here. Radio HL reached 93%, and that's the same advertisement that I just showed you earlier. And here is the data. So my budget's $5 per day. It's gotten about 8,000 impressions so far, 48 clicks. I'm spending quite a bit of money on each click. Average cost per click is 36 cents, and I'm going to come back to that in a minute. And I've spent $17, but I've only made one sale. And I can tell from this amount here that this reflects one sale of the paperback edition. So it's giving me 115% ACoS. And some people might look at this and say, well, it's really not performing that well. If the ACoS is 115%, probably the average cost of net is like 150% or 160% or something. So why continue this ad? Why not just pause it? And the reason is sometimes you can look at a campaign and find out that the performance can actually be improved if you optimize the campaign a bit. So that's what I'm going to do. So let's click on this headline here, and that will show me some of the performance metrics that are relevant for us. So it shows you a couple different tabs for the headline ads. The ones that are most relevant here are the keywords tab and the campaign settings. So campaign settings, that allows me to change the budget. So if I don't like the fact that I'm spending $5 per day, I can lower that amount, or I can increase it if I think it will be more effective. I can also pause it from here. But the keywords is where you can make really fine-toothed changes to your campaign. And the way that it presents the keywords is, I think when I created this campaign, I probably added about 50 or 60 keywords, and now they're presented in alphabetical order. It's showing me all the information for each one. My CPC means cost per click bid. So that's the amount that I set to bid. So I said the maximum amount I'm willing to pay for someone clicking on this ad is 36 cents. And actually, what's happening is, let me just sort this out another way. It's charging it's charging the maximum amount each time someone clicks these ads. It's charging 36 cents because the average cost per click is 36, even on this keyword here, which is at 39 clicks. So that's quite expensive. And so the way that I like to look at these costs and performance is, I don't want to spend time paying attention to keywords that aren't really doing anything, like one-page marketing plan, that keyword phrase. It has made 0 impressions, 0 clicks, no sales. So I don't even bother paying attention to that. The columns that I really want to pay attention to are sales, clicks, and impressions. So actually, let's start out by looking at sales. So if you click on the column, it will sort it either lowest to highest or highest to lowest. So you might have to click it twice to show the total sales. And here we have the results for this particular campaign. So I've had these two keywords, PR tips and for dummies, they've had the best performance so far. This is $7.99. That means someone bought the Kindle edition after clicking. So one of these clicks turned into a sale of the Kindle edition. This one's really good. This only made one impression and one click, and somebody actually made it, and someone bought it. So I'm hoping that more people can click on this PR tips at this PR tips keyword if they search for PR tips, and they'll see my advertisement. But let's take a look actually at the for dummies. So this keyword here made 7,000 impressions, 39 clicks. I've spent $14, but I've only made $8. So this is not really that good. It basically means a lot of people are looking at the advertisement, and quite a few are clicking on it too, but not enough are actually buying the product, buying the book. So for this particular keyword, I could do a couple things. One is I could just lower the amount I'm willing to pay for people to buy it, to make a click. So I'm going to change it from 36 cents to 11 cents. Whoops. Okay, so I've just basically lowered the cost that I'm willing to bid on that. And what this means is I'll get fewer impressions and fewer clicks, but I won't be spending as much. So maybe if somebody does buy it, it will justify the smaller expenditure I'm making. But maybe a better idea actually would be just to pause it. And the reason I'm going to pause that is for dummies is just so generic. I mean, people might be searching for any book in the For Dummies series, not one that's specific to the title itself, which is about basically promoting your business or promoting your ideas using radio interviews and podcast interviews. So this is just basically too generic, and I think a lot of people, they're clicking on it, but not many people are actually intrigued enough about the topic to go buy it. And one other thing that's worth adding, you can use the name of another series or another author here, and Amazon doesn't restrict it, and it's not against the law or anything like that. It's okay to do that because people may be searching for a book like the For Dummies book, or maybe looking for a book like Stephen King or something like that. So, like for instance, if you publish a horror book, a horror novel, why not use Stephen King as a keyword? Because he's the best known horror writer out there. And it's fair to say that a lot of people are looking for authors like Stephen King, so they might be interested in your book. So it makes sense to include related authors or related book titles as keywords in your campaigns. But for dummies, that's maybe too general. And even though I could lower the amount of money I'm willing to bid on it, maybe it makes sense just to kill it altogether. So I'm going to pause that one. Now this one is another interesting case. PR tips. It says the traffic potential is very low, and I accept that. So maybe that means not many people are searching for PR tips in Amazon every day, but it's so effective. One impression, one click, one sale. That's a really good. So I spent 36 cents to make a $15 sale on Amazon, and I have a really low average cost of sale. And even the net, like the net for this title is probably, I don't know, let's say it's $7 or $8. Even if I'm spending 36 cents to get a $7 sale, that's like a 5%. That's like a 5% average cost of that. So that's really effective. And in fact, what I might want to do is increase the bid that I'm making, so I'll get more of them. Because maybe other people are also bidding for PR tips, but because they're spending more on it, they're more likely to win. Their advertisement's more likely to show up when people search for that term. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the size of the bid to 45 cents. And we'll see if that helps to improve traffic. So that's one basic way to optimize your campaign. We'll have some more videos that share other optimization tips. And thank you so much for watching.